I'm so tilted right now, so I figured I should probably pick up the camera rather than wait. But it's so frustrating, and I'm just like so angry right now. So annoying. I'm so angry right now.
I know what it like to have no options. I know what it like to be alone. I know what it like to pick your pockets and not even a dime to call your own. No, God only knows. I've been through highs and the lows. I've been down, down, down before. I've been through hell and back, and the flow still cold. Been through hell and back, and the flow still cold. Been through hell and back, and the flow still cold. Been through hell and back, and the flow still cold. Been through hell and back, and the flow still.
Alright, we just fired it up at Kojacks, and look who I found next to me. This is Scott wearing a Vibes hoodie. We got 4 tables of 5 on the button running in here, and I don't know. I'm here for 4 days, so let's get it started and see how it goes. You're a world famous what?
T-Chap,
What is that?
Tommy Chap.
Oh, the world famous Tommy Chap.
Tommy Chap.
What are you famous for?
Being a donkey. If you look in the dictionary, my picture's right there beside donkey.
Oh, okay. I'll keep that in mind. Let's talk a little bit about the blind structure here at Kojacks. It's $5 on the button. The only blind is posted on the button. It only costs you $5 per orbit. Kind of like a 2-3 game, except for the minimum to limp is 5. So it definitely is about the size of a 2-5 game. And since the action is slightly looser in Midland here, I would say that it's probably a little bit bigger than your average 2-5 game. So in this hand, there is a limp, and I go ahead and ISO that limp. We get a caller on the button, and then the limper actually calls as well. So we go 3 ways to a flop here. The flop comes 6, 7, 8 with 2 diamonds. And when it checks to me, I elect to continue for $35. The button calls, and out of position player folds. So we are heads up to the turn. The turn comes a deuce, and he only has $70 left. So we go ahead and put him all in. He makes the snap call. The river comes a 7, and he snap flips over 7-4 offsuit for river trips to take down our pocket 9s. This hand will give you guys a little bit of an idea about how loose the action is here. People like to play their buttons. Definitely feels like a home game atmosphere, and more so evident in this hand where I'm playing with the husband and wife, Summer and her husband, Chris Mertz. Great people, loved playing with them. In this hand, she opens it up from early for $20. Her husband on my right calls. I like to just call here with the Queen 10 of diamonds. Probably should just be folding this hand when a husband and wife raise and call when the wife is on the tighter side, but we're here to mix it up. So we make the call, and we end up going 5 ways to a flop of Jack, 10, 9 with 2 diamonds. So we have an open-ended straight flush draw. Under the gun, who had limped and called the $20, leads out. Summer calls. The guy, her husband on my right, Chris, he calls. And I could definitely raise here because I have plenty of equity, but think that everyone actually has a pretty good hand. So I'm just going to call and evaluate on the turn. I don't expect to get any folds when I raise here on the flop. So we just peel one off. The button folds, and we have position going into the turn. The turn is a 3 of hearts. Under the gun player bets all in for 270. Summer calls all in for less than that, for about 170. Her husband tanks for a long time and ends up folding. I obviously make the call. Straight flush draw and a pair. I have Queen 10 of diamonds.
All right, everybody call in.
I don't think I can win this.
The river's the Queen of Hearts. Summer shows pocket aces. Her husband actually folded pocket kings. And the player out of position had Jack 10. So I rivered a better 2 pair to beat him. My 2 pair also beats Summer. And since Chris folded his kings, we actually scoop a nice one here to put us up a lot of money.
I knew.
If I would have called, I'd have made the straight and won it. And I almost made the call, but me.
Thank you, I appreciate
Holy
that.
Literally dealt me kings and aces, and I lost them both. No, I got won $5 on my kings.
This next hand, I open it up with King 10 of diamonds for $20. One caller in middle position, the button calls, and we go three ways to a flop of 8-4 deuce with 2 diamonds. Bet 25, both players call, and when the queen of diamond comes on the turn, we have the second nuts. It's probably not a good card for our opponent's ranges, so I don't want to bet too big and blow them off their hand. So I bet $65, and they both actually make the call. River's a queen of spades, and I actually like this card because it makes it more likely that I'm going to get called by any pair at this point, because people don't like to fold on river board pairs, because oftentimes if they had a hand with showdown value on the turn, their hand doesn't really diminish in value on the rivers, and sometimes it will increase in value. So I go ahead and bet 175. The player in middle folds, and the button I had a feeling. Oh. I think that you had pocket eights. And you slow played the flop, and then on turn I turned to flush, and you're like, let's try to pair the board, and then you did. Oh man. Or maybe you're just trying to bluff me.
Another bomb pot here at Kojacks. Yeah.
This is a really good hand. See?
Double nut.
Yep.
Had him. Oh my gosh, that's so awesome.
Thanks.
Good hand.
Even though I was getting a great price, I just felt like he had to have it here. And a short while later, patience paid off when I had pocket eights. Flop came 8-4-4, and the player on my left had 4-5 offsuit. Nothing that he could do to get away from his hand, so we won a monster pot. I ended up winning quite a lot of money in this session. A nearly $3,000 profit in a game that only has $5 in the middle pre-flop, so definitely happy with that. Happy to move on to day 2 and an $800 tournament with a lot of money up for grabs. So let's move on to day 2. What's up, guys? It is late on Friday night, and I played cash for about an hour today, and then I hopped in the tournament that they're having here. It's a 100K guarantee, $800 buy-in, and I hopped in Flight B, and we bagged chips, have an average stack going on to day 2. I think tomorrow, Saturday, I'm just going to grind cash all day. It's been a great trip so far. I won a couple $100 again today. So on my $800 bullet, we're already in profit land, and I'm already up like $3,200 in the cash games with a full another day of grinding to go tomorrow. And then who knows what's going to happen on Sunday. But I'm going to head back to the hotel, get some rest, and we'll be back tomorrow for day 3 in Midland at Kojacks Casino. This place is pretty awesome, actually. So can't wait to get back at it. Good night, guys. What's up, guys? It's day 4 at Midland Kojacks in the Permian Basin.
On making it to day 2. As you can see, everyone gets paid. Minimum cash is $1,365 with a first place of $34,000.
All right, you guys heard it there. $34,000 up
We got
top.
about 4 minutes till we start. We will start at 12:10.
We start in 4 minutes. I have a flight tonight at 7:40.
4 minutes.
Hopefully I don't get to take my flight and I run deep in this, because 34,000 up top is definitely worth staying for.
At level 14, blinds will be 1,500, 3,000 with a 3,000 big blind ante.
And I have 190,000, so I have over 40 big blinds in the almost 50 big blinds range. Yesterday I played all day, didn't make any money. I lost like $190, but still doing great on the trip, up over 3K I believe, and could be a lot more with this tournament. So the rest of this tournament is going to be a tournament vlog, Hopefully I run deep. Hopefully I win it all.
Been through hell and back and the
Let's go.
flow still cold.
This hand right here was likely the hand of the tournament for me. It was a huge momentum swing. I went into the private room to talk about this hand shortly after it happened. So let's get my in the moment analysis of everything that happened in this hand. I had ace jack of hearts on the button in a spot where an early position player raised, and I decided to take the low variance route here. Definitely don't want to be folding ace jack suited, but at the same time I don't want a 3-bet call off for the number of blinds that he had. He had about half my stack. He had about 60% of my stack, so it would have left me really short if I would have 3-bet called off. So I flat, and we go heads up to a flop. He made a big raise pre-flop too. So the flop comes ace ace king with 2 clubs. He checks. I bet 15,000. He calls, and at this point I think he has some king queens, and he has some ace queens, ace jacks, ace tens, ace x suiteds. I think he could have some like jack 10 of clubs as well. So when the turn comes off at 9 of hearts, I'm going to be continuing to bet for value. When he checks, so he checks and I bet 30,000, pretty sizable in terms of both of our stacks. It leaves him with like 25 to 30,000. And he calls and he checks in the dark. So river comes a 10. So now the board is really interesting. It's one of those boards that is, for him raising up front, he's going to be all over this. And even though he only has like 30,000 left, I just decided to play it safe here because I think that if he has an ace, it's gonna likely have me beat. I don't see him raising with ace 8 or worse up front like that. So I went ahead and checked it back, and he had ace 10, which is huge because that leaves me with 100,000 chips, around 25 big blinds. A couple hands later, I'm in the small blind, I want to say an orbit later, with ace king offsuit, and under the gun jams, folds to me. We obviously are calling it off with ace king. We have about equal stacks, and he flips up king jack, so we are in great shape. Flop a king. There's nothing that he can hit going into the river except for a jack, and the jack of diamonds comes on the river. So that left me with 1.5 big blinds, which I got in the next hand on the button with king 10 suited. Big blind had deuce 5 offsuit.
Congratulations to Mr. Kinsey for an 18th place finish.
Big blind had deuce 5 offsuit, and he hit a 5. We could not improve. And we are out instantly like that, leaving me tilt level 75 million, thousand, hundred, billion, trillion, more than I can count, and irritated. And just, this is like a spot where it was just, you know, the field was super soft and I had chips, and I just didn't see it going down this way. And especially with the spot that Olga and I are in right now, financially, it just would have been so huge to get to the final 4 and have this be a $20,000 plus trip. But as it stands, it's going to be a $4,000 trip, which is obviously still profitable. But it's just what could have been, you know? And that's the nature of tournaments, and that's one of the reasons why I don't play them. Because it leaves you frustrated, and there's so much up to chance. And being a professional poker player, I can't live my life with too much chance. I have to, especially with the way things are right now, I have to take the sure things so often. So, which is why we're going to continue to grind cash and limit the tournaments. Let's see. I am going to recover from this. I'm probably going to lay on the couch out here and watch some football, but I just need some time right now. What's up, YouTube? We are in Dallas, Texas right now. It's taken quite a while to get this last video out, but don't worry, there are more coming. We're on a road trip. I'm about to start a YouTube series of us being on the road. I've been grinding in Dallas these last couple days. We're going to a Dallas Mavericks game tonight. After the Mavericks game, I'm immediately going to go to Hideaway, play poker, and then tomorrow we are off to Chicago for a meetup game in Chicago with Jamin Burton. I hope to see everyone there. No excuse to not see you in a poker room near you because we are on a road trip across the entire United States. Thanks for watching, guys.
When's the new vlog gonna come out, Johnny?
I'm doing my best, man. But are you subbed?
I'm excited, man.
Do you have notifications on?
Yeah, of course. Click and like, comment.
All of it?
Tag. Facebook post it.
All right.
I'm not Facebook posting right now.
All right. I'll do my best to have it up by Thursday. What's up, man? And that's what I'm going to do. I'm going to head downstairs and I'm going to play 1-2, play a small game tonight. Be a lot of fun. So if you're in the Tulsa area, I expect to see you mixing it up in the 1-2 streets.